Welcome to MLS All-Star Today, presented by Target. We're in the AT&T 5G virtual studio, but we're also right here at Beats, Cleats, and Eats, presented by Coca-Cola, right next to Expo Park, and a few steps from Bank of California Stadium, where, what's going on tonight, Dave? You remember? Is it,
it's MLS. It's Liga MX.
Yeah,
it is the rivalry that has been simmering for 25 years.
Oh, yeah, the pot is on, baby. The MLS All-Star Game presented by Target going down tonight just over yonder last night. A wonderful time at the Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. Now, the result is not necessarily what MLS supporters wanted, but this isn't all about MLS supporters, right? Liga MX getting the victory, getting the celebration. Maybe we'll split the spoils.
If we do, then Thursday has to be a third event to break the rubber. Like, we need a winner out of this week.
A rubber match?
Yeah.
Will you guys stick around for that? People at Beats, Cleats, and Eats?
Yeah. How are we feeling, everyone?
Yeah.
You feel good?
Good.
We got Liga MX fans here. We've got MLS fans here. This is fun.
You know who else we got here?
Legends?
Yeah.
Goats?
A couple of those. Eddie Pope. You know him. U.S. men's national team. MLS legend as well. Pavel Pardo.
He's
an MLS legend. He's a Liga MX legend. He's a Bundesliga legend. He's an L3 legend.
Talk about a spine of a team. You need a goalkeeper, though, in a clear spine. Who would be your goalkeeper of these legends?
You know what? If I had to choose, let's see. I need somebody MLS. I need somebody Liga MX. I need somebody
you also
who's a
need
part
a
of the
striker.
region.
You need both.
Goal scorer and a goalkeeper. Jorge Campos. That's who I would go with.
The
Brody.
Is he here?
Maybe. I don't know. Is he? Where in the world is Jorge Campos? We have word that Jorge may be here today. We don't know. We're just hopeful. TBD on that one.
Pavel, call Jorge. Let us know what happens.
Get with your boy. Get with your boy. Make sure he shows up. We'll see. If a golf cart rolls up, we'll be the first to tell you that Jorge is here. We got a big show for you. Getting you ready for the big game tonight. You can watch. Coverage starts 9 p.m. Eastern. FS1, Univision, TSN, TVA Sports in Canada. It's going on everywhere. It's history. It's history. We've been waiting for it for a long time. It is finally here. We didn't have to wait anymore for the Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. That went down last night, Dave. It was awesome. We were there in Orlando in 2019. Then they said, oh, you know what? That was cool.
Let's level
Nani
up.
had the dramatics. Level it right up. And look at this.
Yeah.
Bang. 10s off the top. So there's Jorge.
So full disclosure, me and Andrew, we walked through and did this skills challenge earlier. And some of these, game plans and tactics that these players came up with was more intelligent than what we thought of.
That would be true.
The touch was actually... I think that they struggled a little bit, and you could see Jorge Campos and Gobi Jones talking strategy a little bit, but the cross to the chest, it wasn't as efficient as you thought it was going to be, and it felt like this is where MLS was starting to pull ahead. Yeah,
Orbelin was incredible on that, but nobody was better at cross and volley than Ricardo Pepi. You know how good he was. Well, we'll talk about him just a little bit. Nahuel, he's like, I gotta kill the momentum here.
I told you. If there's a goalkeeper on the planet who was made for a skills challenge where you need a little flair, you need personality, it's not Hugo Guzman. He was born for this moment.
Look at this.
And he dominates it.
He is getting the stretch on. I mean, they're literally massaging that calf, and he smiled after. He said, oh, yeah, no, that was a game. I was playing games with you. I wasn't hurt.
There's not a keeper in the world I would less want to go into a shootout against than him because it's all mental. And this is real skill. This is me out on the field. I felt good, but I didn't have anyone laying the ball out for me. But I started to get in my rhythm, and that's where I started to hit 5s and 10s, right?
There's the crossbar challenge for me. Yeah. I saw that. Get a 2. Just knock them down. Just get the easy ones first. Get a 5. Build up a little confidence.
I was told they were the same event, so I was aiming for the crossbar. That's crossbar right there. I'm hitting crossbars all day, a couple 5s, a couple 2s.
It was unfortunate for you, I'll say, that you went before me because you could have seen the real goat at work, just banging the 5.
Outside of the left foot touch for the right.
You got to gather it in a way you feel comfortable.
That's a 10.
And
here it is.
The touch here. I think it was a handball.
Mono.
I think that's a handball. I blame Stu Holden right here.
For sure.
He chose violence. He's sitting up there in the booth making fun of us over the PA, and he found this one. But this tells you not how hard it is, but how good Ricardo Pepi is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God. He was incredible.
Pure finisher.
Yeah, he is. And we'll see. He has a big decision to make, by the way. Talking about that a lot this week. And there's a big decision for MLS in the future when it comes to the Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. Because we talked to Matt Turner, U.S. National Team starter, Gold Cup winner on Monday on Extra Time, driven by Continental Tire. Go check that out. Monday and Thursday podcast, wherever you get your pods. And Matt said there's something missing. He doesn't want to be target practice. He doesn't want to be the guy that just has to stop volleys. He wants what, Dave?
He wants respect. He wants goalkeepers in the Skills Challenge. He wants goalie wars back. He has a whole game plan for it, as well as Zach Thornton getting it done back in the day. Probably one of the people you'd least want to face off against goalie wars.
Yeah. And then you have, of course, Cannon winning this one. Joe Cannon won the inaugural, but it was the only one. It was 2001. This is my plea. Maybe MLS will listen, maybe they won't. I love what it was this season, but make the goalkeepers primary participants. Give them an opportunity to lay out, to do spectacular things, to show their skill. Joe Cannon won this thing. He said, look, I didn't realize it was going to be, but it was exhausting. I want to see Memo. I want to see Memo doing this. I want to see him against Matt Turner. I want to see Nahuel in this as well.
Andre Blake would have done some damage in this.
I think Pedro Gallese.
It's just
El Pulpo.
Listen, there's people out there in the world working hard, grinding, that don't get the credit. The goalkeepers are at the top of that list, and I'll be the first to tell you, I don't like celebrating goalkeepers. I don't like talking about them. I don't like bringing them up. But these are some of the best goalkeepers in the world. They deserve their moment. Now, I will say this. Nahu jumped into the crossbar challenge. I think Talavera did as well. Nice. Andre Blake hit it twice from the 25-yard line. He was the only person, I think, to hit it for the first 3 minutes or so going on. So there's also a chance for them to show their skills. Maybe we bring in a penalty kick shootout type moment, and the goalkeepers get to be shooters, and maybe the field players go.
Give them respect. Walker Zimmerman also said, look, center backs deserve respect. Center backs should be in the skill challenge as well, and we are so pleased to be joined by a legend.
The greatest that's ever done it at that position.
Eddie Pope.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
How do you feel about this All-Star Game, this format, this joining of two leagues? We've seen it, and you've seen it, by the way, East versus West. You've seen U.S. World. Now we're seeing League on League. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think it's creative. I don't think, and I'll go out on a limb and say this, I don't think any other league has ever done this in the world. So it's great for MLS and Liga MX to be the first ones to do it. I think it's probably a precursor to maybe more collaboration. We'll see, I guess. But no, I think it's fantastic. I think the game's going to be exciting.
What do you make of coming up playing? It was Mexico that we were chasing, right? As a national team and then as a league. What do you make of now the ability for the two leagues to collaborate to try and build the game in this region?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's important. We're obviously seeing other teams in the CONCACAF region grow in strength. Everyone complains how the Euros are so great and CONMEBOL is super good. But now the CONCACAF region has become extremely competitive. And so now, obviously we're on par with Mexico, and then you have Canada closely behind. I just think it's great for the region for something like this to be so exciting. And we are collaborating on the World Cup. So
we talk skills challenge. Everybody loves that. But there is a missing event here. We're hashtag play the kids. Homegrown game was great. But what about a Legends game? We got Pavel over there. Jorge may or may not show up here. We don't know. What about a Legends game? Eddie, how many minutes you got in those legs, man? Could you run it out there?
I got at least 2 or 3 minutes.
2 or 3?
Yeah, super sub.
Yeah.
So we'll throw you up top.
Throw me up top, yes. I don't want to have to play in the back, no.
Yeah, you're going goals, baby. Who would be your first pick of all the guys you've played with, played against? If we were going to go Liga MX MLS Legends game, who is your first pick to be on Team Pope? Because I'm making you a captain right now.
I got to go with pretty much the close to the all-time leading goal scorer, although his record was broken, Roy Lassiter.
Okay.
Ooh. Goals win games.
I like it. Yeah. I thought we'd hear El Diablo maybe. Someone to sit in the middle, but
yeah, he obviously he'd be on my team too. A little bit of Jaime Moreno.
Would it just be DC? It'd just be legendary DC team?
DC.
Might as well just
I got a couple other guys in there.
Bring Jeff in there. Make sure we get them all there.
Tony can jump in.
Tony Big Cat Santa would be another one we'd want in there. Absolutely.
What is your best All-Star memory from you playing in these games? Because like I said, you've been through a lot of formats. And I'm hoping for a little bit of the flavor from your days, which is like a 9-4 game, a 6-5 game. Just give me goals.
Well, All-Star games aren't great for defenders, by the way. But I would say, I think MLS against the rest of the world was super fun because it was our national team for the most part. But then you get to sprinkle in some other guys from MLS who were obviously very good players. So for me, that was the most fun.
What do you make of the format of playing against a club from another country coming here?
I think that's great too. I think it's a lot of fun because I think sometimes the fans here don't get to see those club teams from around the world, whether they can afford it or whether they just don't have time to get there. But to be able to watch those players come in and be that close to them is pretty powerful. So I think a lot of people enjoyed that.
I need you to expand on All-Star games for defenders. Because I hadn't really thought about that
this game?
deeply. Any of them.
I'm saying for this game where these two teams are both All-Star teams, no one's defending.
No. And no one wants to see all that defending. People want to see goals. Like I always say, goals win games. So, but yeah, they're not the best. All-Star games aren't the greatest for defenders because you don't have anyone in front of you defending. Everybody just wants to score, including the defenders. There's no organization. But again, fans want to see goals. So,
at what point do you put your hand up and say, "I'm going forward"? Just cover for me, guys. I'm going forward.
Almost immediately.
If you don't do it, they're going to do it, right?
That's right.
You got to take your opportunity. Let's talk a little bit more about the region, because there's so much going on here, whether it be Liga MX and MLS coming together. And, of course, in 8 days, we have World Cup qualifying going down and a new format here, the Octagon, 8 teams, whatever you want to call it. What gets you most excited about soccer, let's just say in North America to start, and we can widen out to CONCACAF after that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you almost have to widen out right away. I mean, I just think that, like I said earlier, our region is getting strong. Our teams are doing well in World Cups. You know, you see players now from some of the other countries. They're now getting sold to Europe. We're really starting to see this region grow. And I think, again, that's going to be great just for the World Cup in general. But I'm really excited to see, although we have to play these teams, but I'm excited to see Canada come on really strong. You know, you never know where you're going to get when you have to go down, for example, into Honduras, or you got to play in the Bob Marley Stadium in Jamaica. You just don't know where you're going to get. Costa Rica. And now with all these teams, you know, again, just growing in strength, it's just super exciting.
We've seen these young players, obviously, for the U.S. this summer do some great things, but they've never gone to any of the places you just named. You've been there. We have not. Yeah. Take us into the experience they'll have, maybe any specific memories you have of away games in CONCACAF?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they'll hopefully experience all of the, you know,
helicopters buzz by.
As the helicopters buzz by super low. Yeah, they'll experience, you know, they'll turn off the cold water so you only have hot water, or how about no water, period. Pulling the fire alarms, batteries thrown at you, food thrown at you. I mean, it runs the whole gamut. I mean, the fans are super passionate. They want their country to win. And so, you know, you got to expect that when you go down there.
What is your favorite game from World Cup qualifying that stands out in your mind that you played in?
Wow, favorite game from World Cup qualifying, man. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I mean, I loved playing. You know, I got a chance to play in Azteca Stadium. That was a great experience because of the number of people that are there. And then, you know, Costa Rica was always an amazing place to play in. In the old Saprissa Stadium, they've obviously moved now. And lastly, I'd say, who doesn't like playing in the Caribbean, right? Nice breeze off the ocean. Bob Marley Stadium is a beautiful place. The people are fantastic. So, I mean, I have a lot of great memories from those times.
You're watching this young group of American players kind of take the reins and say, this is our team, this is our movement. And when I watch the team, I can't help but get really excited. We had such a down point in Cuba, and it just seems like the trajectory now, we hope, we haven't seen it get to the promised land yet, but we hope is sort of exponential. Well, that's true, but we all know what the promised land is. It's the World Cup.
Yes.
When you watch this team, what emotions do you feel? And as a legend yourself who's done this, so when you analyze them, what do you see?
I mean, the same thing, like you're saying, you're cautiously optimistic. You know, I think during the summer, the thing that we saw was, you know, a group of players that felt a little bit disrespected. They gelled as a team, so you saw a lot of team chemistry. And that, to me, is the most important thing. And you have to have that throughout qualifying and when you're in a World Cup. And we saw that from that group. So it'll be interesting to see when the European guys come in, if they can join in and gel along with those guys. I mean, you know, we're Americans, right? When we get the chip on our shoulder, we mean business. And so I think, obviously, we had some disappointments, but I see a lot of talent. I see a lot of guys who, because the MLS stadiums, you have rivalry week, these aren't friendly environments that these guys are in on a week in, week out basis. So I think that's going to be super helpful when they have to go into difficult environments.
You've worked all across this league now, right? As a player, agent, with the agency side as well, with the player side, with the union. You're watching this league grow. We've got an opportunity tonight to watch something that didn't exist when you played, which was a Ricardo Pepi, a homegrown, come through an academy, a USL side, and then playing an MLS All-Star Game. What do you make of how the development of this game has changed in this country?
Yeah, and he's a serious player.
Oh, he's a player.
So I mean, it speaks volumes, right? With you know, the talent in the United States is sort of quietly is there at the youth level, and it's been fun to watch. And all you have to do is go to some of the youth events and look at the scouts and where they're from, and you'll see you've got Germany, Spain, England, South America. I mean, they're from all over because now they know that there's a lot of talent here. And I mean, then just the fact that tonight's game is in an amazing soccer-specific stadium. Those are things that I didn't really have when I was playing. So it's been fun to watch the sport evolve and grow. And it's growing so quickly as well. So it's been fun to watch.
You walk out there with DC United all these years ago. Did you think it would look like this? Soccer-specific stadiums, the way it's grown, the way the teams are set up?
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have foreseen where we've come. It really is. It's truly amazing. And then I would say also from a player standpoint, I think it was difficult to see how kids could get so good so quickly, so young. It's really impressive. And so I'm just excited for the future of the game, but also for the future for American soccer. And then, like I said, unfortunately, the Canadians, they're doing really well. They have a ton of really good young players. And but again, the region's getting stronger as a whole. And I think that's important because if the region's weak, then you have an issue when you try to go and compete in World Cups.
U.S.-Mexico, though, 2 times this summer. How much pride did you feel? And we talk to Charlie Davies all the time on Extra Time about this, of just seeing kind of the legacy continue and seeing the rivalry continue. But more importantly, we all want to be on top of it, Mexico or the U.S. And when you are, you just got to enjoy it.
You just have to win that game. I don't know what else to say. U.S.-Mexico, the U.S., we always want to win. We respect them as opponents. We always know that they're going to put together a good team. They're great players, and so when you can beat Mexico, it's always a great feeling. That Mexico's typically going to make the World Cup, but they do extremely well in World Cups. So it's again. And by the way, I think my team's the only one to beat Mexico in a World Cup. But
you think?
Just saying.
Oh man, my memory. I gotta jog my memory here.
Do you know what the score was? And do you know how to say it in Spanish?
Just I said.
Of course. That was the same in trophies this summer, by the way. Sorry, I had to do it. Last one before we let you go. Yeah, exactly. Predictions for tonight. What do you want to see? What do you think we'll see?
Hopefully, we'll see a lot of goals. That's what I'm sure the fans are hoping for as well.
You don't sound bitter about that at all.
No, I don't. I do not. I'm not bitter about it. Again, I've always been one to try to score goals. So,
fair.
So that's what I hope we see, and then I have to go with MLS.
All right, put one on Walker's head. That's what he's saying. Let a center back have a moment of glory. Maybe Miles Robinson gets it too.
Please, yes.
Eddie Pope, a legend in this game, a legend in this league, a legend in the region as well. Eddie, it's been great to chat with you. Someday we'll get you on Extra Time for MLS Story Time. We'll just get like an hour of your deepest stories. That's what we want.
You think we're exaggerating about the hour? It'll be
might be two. Might be two.
Fine with me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
All-Star Today, presented by Target continues here from the Beats, Cleats, and Eats, presented by Coca-Cola. We are just steps away from Bank of California Stadium. You know what goes down tonight. The MLS All-Star Game, presented by Target, 9 p.m. Eastern when coverage starts. FS1, Univision in Canada, TSN, and TVA. An amazing event, a historic event. But there have been a lot of things going on this week, Dave, and that's part of the beauty of All-Star Week. Because, yes, the game puts the capstone on everything, but there are other moments to savor. There's moments where MLS comes together, along with Liga MX now, to help the community. The MLS Works All-Star Community Day presented by Target went down. MLS, LAFC, U.S. Soccer teamed up to help dedicate a new mini pitch at Charles R. Drew Middle School. Look at this. These are moments that I love because when I was growing up, there wasn't none of this. This was some of the soccer culture that we were missing in the streets, an opportunity for kids, for adults, for communities to come together and have a public space to enjoy the game. I still remember in 2013 in Kansas City MLS, they did one of these. And we got to it, and we saw literal footprints on the paint because it hadn't dried. The night before, the community had come in and played. They climbed the fences. They said, we need this. We wanted this for so long, and they enjoyed it. So congratulations to everybody in MLS, LFC, and U.S. Soccer. And congratulations most to the folks that are going to enjoy this mini pitch at Charles R. Drew Middle School.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And it's so cool in terms of what we're building. I went on Sunday to the MLS Works Day of Service presented by Wells Fargo alongside an organization called #Lunchbag. And I encourage anyone to go, just Google #Lunchbag, look up what they do. And what this program allows you to do is really pop up your own volunteer work instantly. And we could do it, in our backyard with friends. They give you an idea of what to buy, and then you're just making lunch bags, and you're able to go and hand them out around your community. We made 2,000 backpacks as well to hand out to kids, and it was really cool to see because you talk about these two leagues coming together. It was Kobe Jones, it was Luis Hernandez, it was Pavel Pardo, and it was Nick Raimondo, and they came and they were really leading the energy and leading the charge in doing this work and getting these lunch bags done and being able to hand out these notes to the community. And Kobe Jones spoke really well about food insecurity and how it can affect people, especially during COVID and in the LA area. And so it was really cool to watch the power of these two leagues, right? Because it's not just about football, it's not just about soccer. It's about what we can do when we work together in this region for the world. And it was really cool to see some guys who have gone to battle on the field come together and help out.
You know that guy, Eddie Pope, Pavel?
Of course, I know him.
Some big clashes in the past.
Yes, we talked the other day. We was in another event with the elementary school. It was Luis Hernandez and I, and Luis said to Eddie that I have his jersey, you know. So after all the tackles, said, but I have his jersey.
Do you remember which game you got it in?
Oh, I don't remember.
How many jerseys? How many jerseys do you have, Pavel? Let me be honest with us. Your jersey room.
Honestly, not many.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I don't know why. So after when I was the game end, sometimes of course if we lose, and then it was really sad. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just go direct to the locker room. But no, sometimes when have friends, and then okay, let's change.
Have a memento.
Yeah.
This is a game. I wonder who's going to be switching jerseys after this one.
It's going to be
This
cool.
is an opportunity, a unique one for some of these guys. And it's incredible to be here and to be with Liga MX and to feel this partnership come together, because previously it's all been competition.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it's the best way, because we talk about this connection. Sometimes, of course, this community, the fans and everything, it's a competition, of course. But after the competition, you have to be like friends, because sometimes, like you saw many times, battles on the field, but after, we can chat each other, and it's fine, and then it's part of the culture, because we talked the other day about that. I can, of course, cheer for my team or the national team, whatever it is. But right now it's exhibition, but we will see. We're not going to be exhibition game.
How would you approach it? If you were in this game in your day, playing for MLS, because of course you played in MLS, or for Liga MX, how would you approach this game? Would it be an exhibition in your mind, or would you be like, I'm going in hard, man?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you start, okay, it's an exhibition game, but when you start, rolling the ball, and then, it's but it's part of the culture, no? I mean, whatever, I don't care if I play with my friends. In the beginning, it's for have fun, have cool. But then when you start, if you receive a goal or something like that, then you start a little bit angry and then go forward. But it's normal.
So take me into the experience, because you played in Liga MX, you played in Europe, and then you came and played here for Chicago Fire. Your decision of how you perceived MLS, but also maybe what people said to you when you came to this league at that time?
Well, I was very open and always, plan part of my life when I started playing. And I said one of the plays that I would like to play is MLS. Why? Because for me it's interesting, to learn another culture, to live in another country. Of course, there is a lot of Latin community, but I like, to learn more from other cultures. And I said, okay, I would like to go there because I like, the country. I like U.S. I have a son that he born in Chicago.
Nice.
So it's really nice. And also my family, so we used to live here for 9 years. And that's for me, it was a goal to come to MLS. And I'm very happy to see, how it's growing right now, the league. And, I remember we have games, but not in stadiums, like it's a football stadiums or something like that. But right now they have special for soccer, like this beautiful stadium that is banked, and many stadiums around the MLS.
There's been 3 that have opened just this year, and many more
coming.
And
many more come. So I'm very happy because it's growing, and I'm very happy. But it's true also, the connection, like we said. Right now the MLS-Liga MX is fantastic.
Pushing each other as well.
Yeah, of course.
So your son's going to play for the U.S.?
That is the question. I said, which He said, I don't know. I would like to pay both. I say, you can.
Boy, if only. There's some young players
Have
in
him
MLS
call
that
Ricardo Pepi. They can talk
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
figuring that as well. What can these two leagues become together? Because we see the intertwining. We see Campeones Cup. We see Leagues Cup. We see All-Star. What can these two leagues become together in the future? What do you see?
Well, right now, what can I see is first, because we know we have a lot of fans here, Latin, Mexican especially.
Everyone out here as well,
yes, of course. And this is the connection. And the connection always U.S., Mexico is, again, is a rivalry, of course, and then it's a good connection. So, and then I think it's good for the fans, it's good for the leagues, start, growing and keeping doing this kind of events, like a Leagues Cup and everything, because the quality, of course, as well, it's better, because you have a competition, international competition, and it's always good, because the fans want to see international competitions.
Bummed to not see Carlos Vela, bummed to not see Chicharito, but there's going to be an incredible amount of star power in that stadium regardless. Have you seen the perception of MLS change in eyes in Mexico, in media, in fans? How has it changed?
Oh, yeah, everything. That's what I said. I think the way the MLS is doing is fantastic, because you will see more players coming to MLS from Mexico, from the clubs, and MLS that always develop a lot of young players as well. They send to Europe, but also they can go to Mexico to play in Liga MX. So that's very interesting. So, but for me, like you said, the development right now they have, it's very interesting, because right now invest in the youth academies as well. And then we can see more, players, for example, Dallas is doing a good job, Galaxy, LAFC, of course, and then start a lot of young players. Very interesting. So right now we have more, or we can see more players from US and then go to Europe. We talked the other day, because it's good. So the development for the players and the young players is really good.
You went to Europe. You took that risk. Not a lot of players from Mexico have done that. That's the other thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
What do you see in the future for Liga MX, for this league to continue? I think it's a top 10 league in the world, maybe even higher than that.
Right.
How does Liga MX stay there with the way the world is changing?
Yeah, I think, like we said, this is 2 points. So one, the first of all is the players right now want to go to play in Europe, because, of course, they want to play in another level. But the market inside, so in Mexico is big. So sometimes the players can go, but if you go like teams like Monterrey, Tigres, they don't want to send the players. They want to keep the players because they want to get championships and everything. But still players like going to Europe, and it's very interesting. That's what I said. And then this is better for the league, of course, but also for the national team.
Yeah.
And it's better. So I can see when I go to Europe, like I'm doing a lot of stuff with Germany, and you can see MLS, games in Europe, and it's interesting. This is the other way that we talk about what is the thing interesting for MLS doing, and this is good, because then the league is going to see everywhere, to see in Europe, and it's good.
You have Ricardo Pepi, you have Efra, you have maybe Julian Araujo, we don't know, but the MLS is producing, academies are starting to produce, perhaps, again, we don't know with everybody, L3 internationals. That is interesting, and that is different.
I know, it's very interesting, and it's a battle.
Yeah.
Because like Pepi, like Araujo, like Efrain, and then it's like what can decide, Mexico.
You got to look at it. Have you been talking to Ricardo?
I was going to say, did they have you call them up?
No, right now.
That's just Temo. Temo's the one on the phone.
It's another Temo.
Somebody else do the reaching out.
Amazing. So the national team, L3, World Cup qualifying is 8 days away. We asked.
How was this summer?
Eddie.
What? No.
I was traveling.
You were on vacation.
I was on vacation.
Hay vacaciones. No sé.
Are you? What's your feeling about where the national team stands going into World Cup qualifying?
Well, it's very important. The other day, I remember when the U.S. didn't qualify for the World Cup. It's sad, of course, because everybody wants, because we love football, and U.S., Mexico, and then probably Honduras or Costa Rica, the best.
Watch out for Canada. You
Jamaica.
got a little rivalry going
Canada
right now.
is a good
They're
right
coming
now.
up.
And Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica. So right now, I think it's going to be really difficult qualifying.
Do you think there's pressure on Tata?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, he is under pressure. When you are in the national team,
Being the manager of a
being the manager,
that's the
is
natural
always,
state of
that's
things, right?
Yeah, it's a pressure, because that's what I say. But you can want like a Gold Cup, Nations League, but if you don't qualify, that's the thing.
So you got the.
Then he's got to go find Sven Goran Eriksson, and then you can go hang out.
That's the thing. The other day, Berhalter said, okay, that's fine, we won, but the first goal is to qualify to the World Cup.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So you can win those tournaments, that's fine for everybody, but what is the most important goal? Go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Do you think how did the perception, I imagine it did, of the U.S. national team change this summer for El Tri, for Mexican fans? Because we were at a down point. We were at a low point. We didn't go to the World Cup. It was a disaster for us. But it feels like this new generation of players has their mind to changing something and trying to upend the order which Mexico is sitting on top of.
No, it's true. Because, imagine it's like a frustration when you didn't go to the World Cup. So, and then, like you said, so this new generation, a lot of players playing in Europe, another level, another competition. I said, hey, listen, we have to keep focus to get to the next World Cup. So, and then it's an alert for the national team of Mexico, because, like you said, okay, this summer we lost 2 finals. I said, okay, hey, be alert, keep doing the good job, but it's going to be difficult. So it's not going to be easy, this eliminatory, because, like you said, Canada, Jamaica, U.S., Costa Rica, Honduras, you have to go play there.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Tell me, though, as someone who played for El Tri, when they come to you in Azteca, when you walk out on the field with all those fans, what's it like?
Oh, my goodness. It's like amazing. I remember one time I was talking with Eric Winalda, and I was I remember when we get into Estadio Azteca, and then, we see, you saw all the fans, like 100,000. It's like the fans are coming down to the field. Because it's amazing. It's crowded, it's big, but it's fantastic.
Before we let you go, of course, we're here today to talk about one thing and to push into one thing, which is an amazing game tonight, a historic game tonight, the 2021 MLS All-Star Game presented by Target. Give us a prediction, and also tell me who you think is going to be the biggest entertainer tonight. If you had to watch one player, you're like, that guy's going to really catch our eye. He's going to make us feel something. Who would it be?
Well, I think for MLS, Pizarro can do it.
Okay.
It's on fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
he is. No.
Yeah, okay.
How about for the Liga MX? Who are you watching on that side?
The other side, I like, Funes Mori can be one, and the other one, Pineda, Orbelin Pineda.
Yeah, good young player.
Yeah, he got those touches in last night. Like on the skee ball?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
The touch one? Okay, prediction. Are you going Liga MX?
Of course.
Of course.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I know, you're MLS. But
that's true.
No,
I
you're
forgot.
both. You have to be both.
I know.
You have to say tie.
They should have
Tie.
given you,
Yeah.
they got those hats that have the both logos.
So tie.
No tie.
And then penalty.
Okay, all right. As many goals as possible. Pavel Pardo, a legend. It's been a pleasure to chat with you about MLS, about Liga MX, about the future of these two leagues, and, of course, about the region. World Cup qualifying starting very, very soon. Thank you, Pavel.
Thank
Enjoy
you so
your
much.
night.
Thank you. Enjoy the night. Enjoy, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the beautiful weather, LA. Thank you so much. Beats, Cleats, and Needs hanging out here having fun. Pavel, we will let you go, and we will finish this show up because the game is very, very close to beginning here. We are what now? We're about 2.5 hours away?
Yeah.
Dave, it's going to be
we're going to go through
something.
some dream teams.
Yeah?
Pavel's not a part of my dream team because I didn't want him to have to work too hard.
You shouldn't, don't say it to the man.
No. It's pure respect. But I think he would respect my team.
Yep.
I think we're going to go through some of them at some point.
We'll get there in just a second. We'll get there in just a second, I think. Let's start with a little bit of a preview here.
Okay.
We've talked about it on Extra Time, driven by Continental Tire. We do it every Monday and Wednesday. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, you don't watch on YouTube, please do. We cover every single nook and cranny in Major League Soccer in this region. We do post-game shows for World Cup qualifying as well. What gets you excited about tonight? About this unprecedented game that we've waited so long to happen, we've dreamed about. We've sat on our show, we've talked at the bar after, whatever event it is, drinking beers and said, what would be amazing? MLS-Liga MX, an all-star game between leagues. What gets you jacked up?
So 2 things. The first is I've spent my whole life having the conversation in both directions because I grew up, all the games on TV for me were Liga MX. That's all I got. So I grew up on the great Toluca teams, Pachuca, obviously Pavel, players like that, Ricardo Osorio, Temo, these players. And I would talk to people in the U.S. who maybe didn't speak Spanish or weren't from Mexico, and they didn't watch what I thought was one of the best leagues in the world. And so I was always trying to pitch to them to watch. And then on the flip side, I think there's a lot of fans in this country who, as Ricardo Pepi told us, it's all Liga MX all the time, and they don't really watch MLS. So the chance for both of those communities to kind of get a little bit of a peek on each other's side is really excited. I'm excited for Liga MX fans to tune in and see Nani do his thing, to see Ricardo Pepi do his thing, Miles Robinson, these players, and on the flip side to see Sambu and Jonathan Rodriguez and these great players in Liga MX that I think everyone in the U.S. should be tuning into and should be watching.
Sambu.
I thought Pavel would drop Sambu for me as well.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
It's the Venn diagram, right? And it's all about sharing a community. And I think our two communities have so much in common. As fans, as people, this is an opportunity to celebrate each other, to make friends that you might not have made before through the game of soccer. And to me, that's what this is all about. Yeah, it's an exhibition game. Yeah, there are bragging rights on the line. Do I want to win it? Am I wearing an MLS jersey right now? Yeah, you're right. I want to win it. I want to be on Extra Time afterwards, crowing and being super happy and just saying, yeah, we did that.
I
just
thought you were a Club America fan.
No. But see, Rich is not a Club America fan.
True, he's not.
He's more of a Guadalajara guy, more of a Chivas. Goes por vida. But look, this is an opportunity to look across the aisle at each other to say, your league is amazing, your players are amazing, your fans are amazing, your culture is amazing, and share.
Yeah.
And that sharing is what's going to lift both of us. And that's what this partnership has been all about, is about finding our commonalities, finding our strengths, and deciding, you know what? They're complementary. And they're so complementary that we can work together to be some of the best leagues in the world and have some of the best competitions in the world.
And Eddie and Pavel, both the first thing they said every time we asked the question was about the region.
Yep.
And the region growing, right?
Yep.
And it was Costa Rica and Canada and all of that. And the other thing I'm very excited about, by the way, is All-Star games are for entertainment. Eddie Pope said it how many times about goals. When Diego Simeone brings his team out for a preseason game, he's not worried about entertainment. No. He's working towards something. Mm-hmm. So this is the way an All-Star game should be, which is all 22 players are there to have fun and do their thing. So it'll be a pure All-Star game.
I hope so. It's about to inspire us. Inspire us. Come on now. None of this, you don't need to be pressing too hard.
Yeah.
Let the space be open. Let the midfield be free. Give us goal-scoring opportunities. We got some more coming here. And we'll let you know as we get to it. And we're still waiting for Jorge Campos. Has anybody seen him?
Wait.
I saw those choppers.
Flip-flops?
I saw the choppers go over, and I was like, "Is that going to be Jorge? Is he just going to drop down and make the entrance of a lifetime?" But it wasn't. All right, let's go to the lineups we want to see tonight from Major League Soccer, and I'll get us started here.
Okay.
I'm going with you can call it a 5-3-2, you can call it a 3-5-2, whatever it might be. These are the dream teams.
This is my dream team.
This is your dream team.
Yeah. Okay, so let me walk you through this, because this is not the greatest MLS team of all time, although it would be pretty close. This, to me, I grew up watching this league, loving this league, and then watching national team, and I would say these were the guys where I said, oh, man, if they could just be U.S., if they could just play for the U.S., how good could our national team be? And you're looking at a bunch of guys who...
Robin Fraser saying, I did.
And Landon. Yeah. Those are my two that I made exceptions for because I get to do whatever I want on my dream lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
But Andre Blake, one of the best goalkeepers in this league's history. Jameson Olave,
you think he could partner John Brooks?
Jameson Olave?
Yeah, be decent.
I think he could partner you
and
still keep out goals.
I don't know, man. I don't know if these ankles can do it.
You got two of the best fullbacks in the league's history, right? Kamar Lawrence, probably defender of the year, and for a fullback would have been historic. Harrison Awful, who is just...
The word probably was doing a lot of work there.
No. And then, to me, Shalry. That was one of the big regrets of my life, and I think he's fine.
In your dream lineup here, we kind of got a taste of it. Okay, like Dwayne DiRosario called there, but we got a taste of it with Oba and Deuce.
Yeah.
Think about Oba Deuce for the national team.
I thought about it for 3 years. I thought about it, and I dreamed about it and what he could have done for the U.S. Vela was my little cheat code. But in fairness... He doesn't really play for Mexico.
That's true. Yeah. Can I just give a shout out to Carlos and a get well soon message to him, because the league, the region, everything about soccer in this city certainly is better with Carlos Vela, healthy, thriving, and playing well. And the same goes to Chicharito, Javier Hernandez. We wish the best for him. Hopefully that cap gets better soon.
Well, for Vela, he signed before the team existed. His face is everywhere. Look at this building. Look at this atmosphere. I mean, this is one of the best places to watch a game. Every time I bring someone here that has never been to an MLS game or been to a game in this country, they're shocked by the environment. Carlos Vela helped build all of that. So D-Ro, legend.
Yeah.
I had a little Javi Mo thought process. David Ferreira was in there as well, but I'm glad I went with D-Ro.
Yeah, but you have a dream. You have a sueño as well.
Yeah.
We got to go Liga MX. Who would you want to see all time?
So this is my Liga MX side, and as I said, I grew up in the mid-early 2000s, something like that. And so a lot of these players, Paulo da Silva with that Toluca team, that was when he was at his peak. He was the best defender in the league. He won that trophy. He brought Toluca back to trophies, to being a champion. Felipe Beloy, who was one of those defenders that you didn't want to step on a field with.
Speaking of the region.
Yeah, absolutely. And he elevated Panama. And they should have made a World Cup sooner than they did. That's on them. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
Look, I was there. I was there for Sanzusi's miracle for Mexico. I was in Panama for that game. So that was a heartbreaker for certainly the entire country.
You talk about Pavel Pardo's generation. I think Carlos Salcido, what he did in Europe, and watching, again, PSV games. Every game was on TV here when he was there, as their Stuttgart team was. And then Jesus Gallardo, who I think Alphonso Davies is the best left back in the region, because he's arguably the best left back in the world. Because of that, Gallardo doesn't get mentioned as often. I think he is one of the best left backs that we've ever seen here. Midfield, I love a midfield with a brain that likes to control the game, that likes to pass, to control. Pavel could have been a part of that, but Gonzalo Pineda was the one I went with. Obviously, Chivas legend. Then comes here, now Atlanta United coach, Guido Pizarro, who I think we're going to see here tonight as well. And then the attack is the attack. Everything was about letting these four run and do their thing. Peak Darwin Quintero at Santos was, I think, the best player, not in this region, in this hemisphere. Between Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, he was the best player playing soccer on this side of the planet for about 3-4 years, what he could do. Chaco Jimenez, his ability to win championships, his ability to dominate teams, and then Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Come on. You're not going to put together a dream team.
He's the perfect guy for the dream team, so he can go both ways.
He played like an All-Star game when it wasn't an All-Star game.
He and Jorge, if Jorge was ever going to show up here, we could have him play for both sides.
For sure.
He could do both of them. Jorge could play in goal and he could score as well. All right.
Then Cabañas up top, by the way. Shout out to Salvador Cabañas. Yeah. He's probably at home watching this right now, but hope he's doing well. And I think Carlos Tevez is the biggest comparison for him, right? Just a meatball of a person who could score goals from every angle and just dominate defenders at, 5'3", 5'4"? Pretty cool.
Well, this will go down in your dreams, David, but it's not going to go down in real life. The MLS All-Star Game goes down tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern is when coverage starts. FS1, Univision, TSN TVA in Canada. The game starts at 9:30, and of course, they got to put the lineups out. We put our MLS lineups. I had a 3-5-2 here because I want to see the star of the show, Alex Roldan. No, but seriously, he's been incredible. I needed to get him in the lineup here because I wanted two brothers in it. You see it here from front to back. Matt Turner, of course, he did his thing in the Gold Cup final, so we needed him in this game. Might do his thing in World Cup qualifying as well. Nuhu, just for the joy of the game.
Oh, yeah, you have to. All-Star game, he's
an entertainer. He's got to be here. Nuhu, I want to take the shackles off, man. I know you're a center back now. I know you're all business, but make some 90 yards, make some 80-yard run forward for him. Miles Robinson, just so the El Tri Internationals remember in there. Walker Zimmerman as well in the back. Alex Roldan, João Paulo, Christian Roldan, two brothers. George Bello on the left side. Demir Krylak making those late runs into the box. He can also play as an 8. You know that midfield's going to be a little open. And then up top, I want to see Ricardo Pepi. After the cross and volley, after what he did to Nahu, he's in the zone. Got to be there. And then, I'm a Daniel Shaw. We stand. So. Are there bigger names? Are there bigger names? You will probably put him in there, but I need Daniel Shaw.
But in Overland Park,
his massive swag.
No one looms larger.
But
his legacy, his image.
Yeah.
I love this group. I will say, watching Christian and Alex Roldan walk around
They own this
doing
place.
media. We need to get them varsity jackets.
Exactly.
It feels like we're in high school
they
and
might
they're
have
big
them,
men on
they
campus.
went to El Rancho, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they went to high school just down the road.
Shout out LA.
Yeah.
Get some pupusas if you're in the area. If you're at home, you can probably get pupusas in your city as well.
How many tacos have I eaten this week?
A lot.
I'm eating nothing but tacos.
Quite a lot. Should we go to my team
Yes,
now?
do it. Go.
Should we take a look at my lineup, which I think is a little bit more fun than yours?
Is it?
Sorry, I don't know. Who knows? I got Alex Rodon in as well. I've got George Bello in as well. I'm going with that full USMNT center
Yeah, you
back.
basically have the same back line as me. How are you gonna slack my? You
Because
have
I got one
Roldan, you
less.
have-
I got one defender
Okay,
less.
that's fine.
I'm an attacking team. Rick Christian and João Paulo in central midfield. I think Krylock is the only other person here, and Atuesta, who could even play in that, which is what's going to make this game interesting, is like, we're going to have 19 attackers and 2 defenders on the field. I understand I pushed Ricardo Pepi out wide. I'm sorry. I apologize to him and his family for doing that. But I had to get Raul Ruiz-Diaz on the field. I had to get Gustavo
I
Bo.
like that your front two have that crossover. You got the Tijuana goal scorer. You've got Rui Diaz, who just banged him in Mexico.
Yeah. That's
know.
what this is about now.
Yeah.
And as Pavel said,
Well,
these
Mikel
players-
Arriola told us, like, hey, MLS is taking some of our players. Well, there are 2 of them right there.
and in their prime, Nani as well, of course, because it's Nani. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard of
He's
that.
a decent guy.
But yeah, this is my group, and I think this is a winning team because I got Pepe coming in, so I'm basically just going to cross to like 3 forwards, and I just got Nani whipping them in, and
Making
that's
runs.
what I do. And then Pepe scores all these goals, and he looks around in LA and he says, "Yeah, I'm going to play for the U.S." I've just been saying that all week. I'm just trying to speak it
dreaming on
into
that one. We
existence.
talked to Ricardo on Monday on Extra Time. He told us, look, I grew up in El Paso. I grew up watching Liga MX. I grew up
What was his
watching
club?
El Tri.
Do you remember?
America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he scores against Memo, I want to see what happens.
Ooh.
I want to see the
Speaking
celebration.
of jersey swaps, that would be a sick one for Ricardo Pepi. I hope he gets it. All right. Big thanks to Beats, Cleats, and Eats, presented by Coca-Cola, for welcoming us here today. I hope you guys had fun and have fun as we build up to the 2021 MLS All-Star Game presented by Target. Coverage starting
Santiago Rodriguez
at 9
fans right here.
p.m. Eastern. Jonathan Rodriguez's fans as well? You
No,
got the
no.
Cruz Azul?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
There's 5 Cruz Azul players in this game.
Yeah.
That's the most from Liga MX.
La Máquina.
Little trivia for you on that one. Let's get to our predictions, though. Make sure you watch the game. What we say won't happen, but maybe it will.
Well,
Maybe it will.
I was right about Nahu.
That's true. You did say he was going
That's a
to
prop
get a little
bet, though.
CONCACAF with that one.
That wasn't a full score bet. That was a prop bet.
How many goals?
What are we doing, combined?
Yeah, of course.
Did I do a little half number, like
Yeah.
over and under thing? So I think the over under is 8.5.
Ooh.
I think that's a clean line.
In my head, I'm going to take the under. In my heart, I'm going to smash that over. I want like East-West, back in the day, 98, like 9-4 games. Forget the defense. Eddie said it. That doesn't matter here. It's not an exhibition for defenders. They ought to just throw off the shackles and say, we are going forward. There's no coach to say no. We must do it. Bob Bradley, just close your eyes and let it happen.
So you said heart and head, which I hate you
Yeah,
to
well,
say.
I always go with my heart. I'm wearing the MLS crest on my chest. You know I do that. So I'm going to go with an MLS win here tonight, but I think we're all going to be the winners because I think the number one thing in a game like this is not bragging rights, though those are fun.
Yeah.
It's not about, who the star of the show is. It's about whether or not these players can come together, have fun, and ultimately entertain us all because this partnership, we don't know where it's going. But I hope that it's one that's going to take both leagues to new heights, and I really believe it will.
You said the word leagues. Did you mean to say Leagues Cup?
I didn't, but I'm
Leagues Cup
I'm
number one fan
I told
right
Mikel
here.
Arriola, I said, you just met the most preeminent Leagues Cup fan in the entire world. There's
You asked
literally
him.
nobody that loves this more than me.
You asked him to promise you for more, and
I
he did.
He made the promise.
He did. So everyone has that on record as well for a second time. Mikel Arriola promises more Leagues Cup, more games, more matchups. I agree with you. I don't think the results matters, although I think what you're going to see, as Pavel said, was that first goal goes in. Then
There's gonna be a
the team
switch.
takes the lead.
Yeah.
Then you start to see a little bit of it. It's going to be interesting to see who turns on, like where are the battles.
Orgulloso, you got him. Yeah.
There are not as there are some players who know each other really well. We talked about Bo and Rui Diaz. There's obviously not as many like pure national team teammates or matchups and all of that stuff because of some of the players we're missing. But I also think there's a lot of players who have played in CCL here and a lot of players who have been in some battles in that. Obviously what Philly's going through right now, Andre Blake's bringing that to the table.
Speaking of America.
All of those things, yeah, and they've battled through all of this. So I think there's going to be some good grit to this. I think there's going to be some excitement. I'm going to go for over. I'm going like the
Nice.
full 10 goals in this one. And I'm
hope
going to
you're
say,
right.
what happens if it ends in a draw?
I don't know. Do we bring out the skills challenge stuff? The props?
bring up the props.
Do we just go with crossbar challenge again?
Crossbar
and that wins it?
challenge.
That should be the tiebreaker. Why
Well,
not?
but you got to redo it. You can't take the one that
We
already
don't want
happened,
the same
right?
result as last night. No. Liga MX, you had your celebration. We want the celebration tonight. The 2021 MLS All-Star Game presented by Target. Going down, and let's see. Let's check our time. The game starts in about 3 hours, 15 minutes. Doing math in my head.
I was
right
like, you're
there.
doing time zones, you're
Yeah.
doing math, you're doing TV times.
I was.
There's a lot going
Pacific
on
time,
there.
Eastern time, Central
There's
time.
magic
Where am I
behind
right
this.
now? Well, I'm at Beats Cleats and Eats. So is Dave. So is Eddie Pope and Pavel Pardo.
Thank you to Coca-Cola.
Is that Jorge Campos? It's not. Didn't happen for us today.
Yeah.
We hoped. Del Brody
Listen.
didn't make it.
You always have to have something to strive for. You always have
Exactly.
something to come back for. So next year,
Exactly.
Beats, Cleats, and Eats, outside the game,
Jorge
Campos is
right here with
hosting the
us.
show with us.
Exactly.
A
Manifest
2.5-hour show.
Manifest it.
Jorge Campos will never hear that this was said.
Exactly. All right. Big thanks to you for hanging out with us here today at Beats, Cleats, and Eats, presented by Coca-Cola, as well as wherever you've watched this, whether it be MLS YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Fill in the blank. It's time now to, if you're here, party a little bit.
Yeah,
if you're
have
at
some fun.
home, get some food, get some drinks, spend some time with your friends and family. Make sure you tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern when coverage starts and 9:30 when the game starts. FS1 Univision in Canada, TSN TVA.
And if you're here or you're at home and you're looking for something to do maybe later tonight or probably tomorrow, you can catch
Good
Extra
call.
Time Radio, driven by Continental.
Yeah.
And
It's,
it'll be audio only.
Is it we calling this one a brown liquor special?
I don't know. It hasn't been poured yet, but I think the time zone says
odds are good for a brown liquor special from us.
So,
check
we got
that out.
Rivalry Week this week.
Oh, yeah.
Heineken Rivalry Week. So we have huge games coming up. Orlando, Inter Miami, all of that. So we're going to talk about that too.
Yep. Tune in. Make sure you subscribe. Watch on YouTube. Big thanks to you for tuning into this as well and hanging with us. That's it for us. I'm going to the stadium. I'll see you there. Have a great night, everybody. History to be made at the 2021 MLS All-Star Game presented by Target.